and gentlemen, you know my next guest from his MTV show, The Tom Green Show, and films such as Freddy Got Fingered and Road Trip. He's just written an autobiography, Hollywood Causes Cancer. Please welcome Tom Green. Good to have you here.
Yeah, thanks. It's cool.
I gotta say, you've been on the show a bunch of times, and so I know you as, the Tom Green that everybody else knows. But now you've written a book.
Yeah.
And I've been flipping through it, and you've got a lot. Because I don't think you knew that you had written a book, and I just wanted you to know about this.
Yeah, I know. I haven't read it yet, actually.
Yeah. Well, it's a corker. But what's nice is you talk about a lot of things. You talk about something that was very interesting to me, because I'm always interested in how did people get started in comedy, and you talk about your early days, where it was you and some buddies just traveling across Canada in a van, shooting stuff.
It's easier to write stories sometimes than it is to tell them, because it involves three 20-something-year-old guys in a van, right? We're living in a van, three 20-year-old guys, and after about the third day on the trip, we realized that we were all really kind of giddy. We had this sort of giddiness.
Right.
And I don't want to be off color or rude here, but
no, this is a serious show, and
But we realized at a certain point that the reason that we were all kind of hyperactive and hopped up was because we hadn't, of course, we'd been living in a van together, and we hadn't been masturbating.
Right. Well, because this is you and your friends, and you're working on a comedy show together.
Yeah, and we were living in a van, so there was nowhere to really go. I mean, you couldn't go behind a tree or something like that, you know? But anyway, this thing that ended up happening was we finally scraped up enough money to check into a hotel one day. And we checked into this hotel, and the other two guys, they went off for lunch or dinner or something like that. And I took the video camera that we had, and I rented the hotel pornography, and I set it up, and I actually made this tape. I guess I stole the pornography on the tape, and I left it with a little note for my friends that said, you can take the van out and watch the pornography on the video monitor.
Right.
But at the 3-minute point, I lean in and I go, "Hey, how you doing?"
Which is upsetting if you're, Now,
I found out it was a little too, should have been at about the 1-minute point. They told me. So.
Well, you're famous for torturing your family with your bits. Really torturing them. And did you ever, and I used to see you do these bits and think, this man has no conscience about it. Was there ever a bit that or a prank that you played on your family for your TV show that you felt bad about? That you thought, in retrospect, I wish I hadn't done that?
Well, I do have a good relationship with my parents, kind of a kidding, friendly relationship with them, and they sort of accept it after the fact. But there was one that I did feel particularly bad about that we did to my grandmother, actually.
Your grandmother?
Yeah. But, and the idea was, after we shot it, we realized it was a little too far.
You thought it was too far. That's pretty intense.
Well, this was early on, too, when we were just sort of experimenting with things. And we did this bit with my grandmother where I was standing with my grandmother. I had a briefcase, and there was some sounds coming out of the briefcase, some vibrating sounds. And so my grandmother says, "What's in the briefcase?" Not knowing what's in the briefcase. And I opened it up, and of course it was, a bunch of vibrating dildos, I guess. So anyway, my grandmother, of course, didn't know what they were. We proceeded to try to figure out what they were together. No, not like that.
Why would you go there?
No.
Sick people.
We came up with ridiculous things that they could be, like maybe they're earrings, and then my grandmother would wear them on the. Maybe it's a bread roller, and we we made bread with them and things like this. And then it culminated.
You made bread with them?
Well, we like dough or whatever. We needed dough. But it got to I don't know if you have this in America. Remember that Fun Dip candy? It's like a...
Oh, yeah, you dip the stick in and you get the sweet powder, I think everyone sees where that's going,
You dip the stick in.
Yes.
But it was cute, though, because as she sort of did it, she said, "Oh, I'm going to get electrocuted." But anyway, the thing that ended up happening with the story is and I'm not proud of it. But anyways, the thing that happened was she never really knew what they were, and we left and we shot it, and the piece started airing, and my parents would watch the show every night. And every night we did the show, and I realized, man, my parents are going to kill me when they see this. So
right.
when the bit came up on the show, it was pre-taped. I snuck down into the basement and I shut the breaker off for the house. And,
so you killed the power in the house.
They thought there was a power failure.
So your grandmother never found out about this?
Then about 5 or 6 years later, when the show premiered on MTV, we re-aired a lot of our old stuff, and of course, then my grandmother saw it and she called a lawyer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How many people are in that situation with their grandmother? That's insane.
Yeah, but no, she got over it eventually, and she actually turned 90 this week.
God bless her soul.
So,
What a
happy birthday, Happy birthday, Grandma. I really hope you're not watching right now.
Yeah,
okay.
That's great. She probably forgot about it. Now she's remembering again, and she's going to sue your ass.
Yeah.
Hollywood causes cancer, the Tom Green story. There's a lot of fascinating stuff in here. It's in stores right now.
Yeah,
yes.
It's like a fish out of water story is what it is. A fish out of water story.
Yes, because you're a fish,
but
then you're removed from the water.
Yeah, and I moved to Hollywood, and then I got cancer in Hollywood.
Right,
yeah,
right.
So Hollywood, I blame Hollywood for causing cancer.
Yeah, that seems rational.
Yeah.
Fish out of water story.
Yeah.
All right, well, check it out. Tom Green, everybody, when we come back, Mitch Hedberg's here. Stick around.